this is Heba from my little journal, and today I'm going to be sharing a flip through of my last two completed Traveler's Notebooks. I also did want to share my new Traveler's Notebook cover. I've shared this shop with you on Etsy. It's called Repapered, and Cindy, what she does is she repurposes older books and creates them into Traveler's Notebook covers, and they're gorgeous. So this is my second purchase, and I love it so much. I love the imperfection. You can see it's kind of torn on the sides because these are older books, and what she does is she repurposes them and creates them into Traveler's Notebook covers. So I love that so much. There's some elastics in here. I removed mine from the elastics because I was going to do this flip through, but you can put 4 in here. Now, because mine get really, really bulky, so I can only get about 2, probably 3 if I'm lucky, but I just love them. And she adds some scrapbook paper in the middle or in the center, and I just really, really love these covers. They are gorgeous. So if you want to check them out, I will add her link, her shop down below for you if you want to grab one of these covers. But anyways, let's start with the flip through. I have 2 notebooks that are completed and gorgeous. Some of these I've shared with you on YouTube, and some of these spreads I have not. But let's start with this one. I always get asked where I get my Traveler's Notebooks from. I get them from Felicity Jane, or I will create my own. And I have a few tutorials on how to create your own Traveler's Notebook with pattern paper or white paper, whatever the case is. I will add it up at the eye. So let's start. This is my 11th Traveler's Notebook, and I always add the dates, and it started February 15th to March 13th. I like to add a little sticker or a quote also. And then we start. Now, I did share this on YouTube. I was a guest designer for the Scale It Down challenge, and it's all about scaling down your projects into a Traveler's Notebook. And there's a few prompts that you had to use, and I really had fun creating this layout. I just added a 4x8 photo. I also get asked a lot how I make these 4x8 photos. It's either I print it using my home printer, which I don't like to do because it really uses up a lot of my ink. So I would say 98% of the time I will order mine from Persnickety Prints. Their prints are beautiful, and they have a 4x8 size for your Traveler's Notebook, which is perfect. So when I do an order, I print out a bunch of photos in 4x8 format and just pay the shipping, which is pretty good. It's like $5 or so, and you get it really fast. This next spread is one of my favorites. I created this for my Kelly Perky Creative Team project, and I used her Traveler's Notebook kit and a lot of the stamp sets. I love this stamp set. You can create your own little figure and just add the clothing, the different colors, fill out the body. I just really, really enjoyed this, and I was documenting my day out with my sister on my birthday. Just used some alpha stamps from Kelly Perky, of course layered my photo, and I just love how this one turned out. It's totally different than what I usually do, and I love doing that every once in a while. This one was using some of my products. You guys know I love to use my scraps and my products, so I used a lot of scraps to create this. I used my Kelly Perky Gray Day stamp set, and I wanted to document this 4x8 photo that I had in my stash. I never throw away any of my photos. I will document them even if they're out of order, because I do not document in chronological order, and that's okay with me because I want to be able to use up all my photos that I printed out. I added, of course, a lot of, I believe these are Felicity Jane flowers. I've had them for a long time, and you guys know I fussy cut out all my flowers beforehand. I wanted to document my kids getting me an Instax camera for my birthday. Love it. And of course, they know me so well, so they got me the teal one. And I wanted to document that. So I just stamped out Click with Love using some Kelly Perky alpha stamps. And I also used, I think this is the National Park stamp set, and added that to kind of embellish it a little bit. And of course, some layers using some scrap paper and I am totally loving these puffy stickers from Future Craft. They are gorgeous, and they are definitely making it to a lot of my spreads. I just love that little hint of color and embellishments. Of course, I add some enamel dots to my spread and called this one Done. This one was created, and I do have a YouTube video for this. I created this for a Future Craft creative team project. This was the Grow Wild kit. I am not sure if this is still available, but I will add all the links to all the shops I'm talking about down below if you want to check it out yourself. I just went with it. I stamped out this huge stamp using the Wild stamp set, the Grow Wild stamp set from Future Craft, and created this little pattern behind my photo. Used a lot of the cards. I cut out the tags from one of the cards and added some twine and just went with it. I loved this kit so much, and I couldn't stop myself from using so many of the embellishments and the stamps. Really pretty. This is a Scrap Your Scraps episode where I used my die cuts to create these circles in my paper and then used all the embellishments that I could. We all have a lot of die cuts in our stash, and some of them are not our favorites. You know, sometimes we buy those packs full of die cuts and we just want to use them up, and this is a great way to use them up, just to layer them and add them inside the circles to create this fun texture and technique for your spread. This layout was created for a Kelly Perky creative team project. I love her traveler's notebook kits. You guys know this. All I did was use my zip printer to print out my favorite apps for, the past few months, and I added them inside these little cell phone images and just added a title and called it Done. I sometimes go all out in my spreads, and sometimes I keep it really simple. And even when you go simple, it really turns out really cute and so much fun to create because it's totally different than what I usually do. And at the same time, I was able to document my favorite apps for the year. And that was it for this traveler's notebook. I always get asked, how do I get so many spreads in here? And you can see I don't get a lot of spreads in my traveler's notebook. I do tear out a bunch of papers before I start because I end up with about 7 to 8 spreads in one traveler's notebook, and I'm okay with that. I always keep the papers I pull out and create a new traveler's notebook with those papers, those extra papers that I pulled out. So don't throw those papers away. If you pull out any of your traveler's notebooks papers, you can create a new one, and that way you're not wasting any of your paper, and you can just use some of your beautiful pattern paper to create a cover. So that one's done. Let's move on to journal number 12. Now this is actually Traveler's Notebook number 13. I did not skip 12. 12 is actually my big picture classes journal. I created another Scrap Your Scraps class, so it's Scrap Your Scraps number 2, and that should go live very soon. I will let you guys know when it goes live if you want to check it out, but that's journal number 12 is all about my big picture classes, and I'm going to give some new tips and tricks on how to use your scraps in your traveler's notebook. But for now, we're doing number 13, and I actually flipped my dates around. It actually started March 16th through April 12th, and I'm okay with that. That's not something that really bothers me. We're going to start with our first spread, and I did share this on YouTube. I used some Ink Road Studio stamps. This is the Friends stamp set. I totally forgot what it's called, but it's all about friends. And what I did was use my scraps to create these strips on the side. I also used the stamps to create this little line of images and phrases from the show. I love Friends, and I really wanted to document it. I used my zip printer to create this photo. And I just used my Studio Calico, I think it's the Watching stamp set, I'm not sure. I will try to add all the links down below. And I stamped out this TV and added the photo right in the center. Love how this turned out. And by the way, I stuck with the purple to represent Monica's apartment. I created this spread and shared it on YouTube. I do have a video for it. I will add it up at the eye, but I just used my circle die cut to cut a circle in this beautiful pattern paper. I believe it's from Pebbles. I stamped out "Here's to Strong Women, the Future is Ours" using some Kelly Perky stamps. And I kept it really simple, added some strips of colors to the side and a picture of my sister and I using my new Instax camera. And I really love the simplicity of the spread and how everything came together. And usually when I have such a bold pattern paper, I really try to keep the other side simple. I don't believe I shared this. I did create this while chatting with my crafty friends. We have this little group of crafty ladies that craft together every week online. So we don't really get together, but we do it online. And it's so much fun. And I created this spread for that night. I just wanted to kind of document my son's crazy schedule for marching band, for school, and all that good stuff. And he's in so many different clubs. So I just stamped out daily schedule using my Feed Your Craft. I think this is the Markers Alpha stamps, and added good and bad and some emoji stamps. Love these emoji stamps. You guys know I'm a big emoji person. I always comment back to all my subscribers and followers with some emojis. So I just added some emojis on the side, created this tag where I added, also using some Feed Your Craft stamp sets. I think this is the week stamp set. I'm not sure. I will add links down below, but I just typed in his daily schedule or his weekly schedule, and that way we'll always remember how crazy his schedule was when he was in high school. And I really love this spread so much. I also created this spread while chatting with my crafty friends. I love that day of the week when I get to craft and chat with them. I just used the same paper pad to cut out these papers and create this line of banners. I love doing that. It's such a great way to use your papers, and especially if you love certain papers and you want to use them all, it's a great way to add them all to your spread. And I just added my photo to the top with some embellishments and layers. I did use my emoji stamps up here. This is from an old Felicity Jane kit. It's just a little rubber embellishment that says blessed, and I just added a small doily behind it, and the other half of the doily I added behind my photo to add more layers to it. And by the way, these emoji stamps, I'm just going to show you real quick, are these. I really, really love them. They're so adorable. And my favorite, obviously, is the hearts. Love it. And the thumbs up. That's one of those two. I use them all the time. But these are such little cute emoji stamps, and they sit in this little box that I can keep on the side of my desk. And they're just perfect to add little hearts to the side of your spread. Really cute. Now, this next spread was created for a Feed Your Craft creative team project. I do have a video for this on YouTube, and I really love these 2x2 cards that came in the kit. Love them all, wanted to use them all, so I decided to create like a grid style layout. To break up all the 2x2s, I did use a tag to back up my photo, and I also used some of these 2x2 cards to create a pocket for my journaling. And I love the spread so much. I was able to use some heat embossing, which I'm not good at, but I'm learning, and you guys gave me some really great tips on how to perfect that. But I really am happy with how this layout turned out, and I love that kit so much. It's one of my favorites. I did share this video of how I created this spread on YouTube. I will add it up at the eye, but this is one of my favorite layouts to date, I'm gonna say. It was something I just decided to do last minute, to use my speech bubble stamps from Feed Your Craft to create these photos and speech bubbles. And I'm so happy I did it because it turned out so cool looking, and I'm going to be doing that more often. I really like how it turned out. I used the same speech bubble to back up my photos, added some little phrases right under my photos. You guys know I love layering my photos, so I wasn't able to layer these and decided to layer my title. I also used some Feed Your Craft stamps for this and added layers upon layers to my title, and I'm really happy with the outcome. It just turned out really pretty. This is a spread that I created for a color cast design creative team project. If you don't know what color cast design is, they create the prettiest acrylics and wood veneers. And what I did was use that acrylic that I liked so much that said, "You are my sunshine," to create a title for my photo. And I just went ahead and stamped out "My Only Sunshine," used another acrylic to create a sun right under my title, and of course layered the heck out of my photo of my dad and daughter together. And I just love that combo of yellow, black, and white. I always say this, black and white is perfect if you just want to add a hint, a pop of color. Any color would work with that combo, but my favorite is of course yellow because it just brightens your spread and just is so beautiful. But I believe that is my last spread in this traveler's notebook. And you can see I was only able to get 7 spreads in this traveler's notebook, and I'm okay with that. Listen, I love to use thicker embellishments. These acrylics take space. I love to add some flare buttons in there, and I love the bulkiness of my spreads. So in the end, I'm okay with just ending up with 7 in a traveler's notebook. As I said earlier, the papers I pull out of my traveler's notebook, I always use them. I end up creating another traveler's notebook with those papers. So I'm not throwing anything away. I'm not wasting anything. And I'm actually using my pattern paper to create other covers, if that makes sense. So anyways, I am done sharing my last 2 traveler's notebooks with you. I hope you guys enjoyed this flip through. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.